We got a George Springer injury update, Bichette throwing shade on Twitter, and Nate Pearson dominating the Dominican Fall League. So all that and much more coming up on this episode of Jay's Digest. What's up, Jays fans? I'm your host, Peter Briones, alongside co-host Nick Goth, and we're back with another daily upload here today. Nick's been holding it down when I'm not there, so super grateful for that. And we're super grateful for all of you that have been watching our videos, and we are on the road to 1K subscribers. So if you are here watching this right now, make sure to tap that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. And we've noticed one thing in doing these videos, and that's a lot of you that are watching, and believe me, a lot of you are watching these videos are not subscribed, but that's not a bad thing. We're still getting the views. You guys are still killing it in the comment section, but this has got to change, bottom line.
Yeah, 91.2% of you aren't subscribed, and it's been doing better. It used to be like 93%, but if you do enjoy the videos, just hit the subscribe button, because every single day we post a video, but the support's been great all the same. And just make sure you hit the button if you enjoy. No pressure, but we are pretty close to 600 already, so.
All joking aside, we've made some huge strides in the off season here, and we're super grateful for all you guys that have been watching. But the first news bit that we want to get into here is George Springer. Now, he had surgery on his right elbow, his throwing arm, to remove a bone spur, and that's what was really hurting him towards the end of the season, and really not having him at 100% hurt our chances. And I'm gonna stick to that. I don't think we would have won the World Series. We saw up until this point what it's taken to be a World Series contender, but having a healthy George Springer definitely will help, and he'll be ready for spring training.
Yeah, I'll pop the injury update here. George Springer underwent surgery in Dallas this week to remove a bone spur from his right elbow. Heading into his age 33 season, Springer is expected to be ready for spring training. So you can't really ask for much better news than that. That was the key thing, get him healthy. And I'm happy that he did surgery, because he obviously didn't want to do it during the season because we needed him. And, there's been some discussion, but I think Springer's probably obviously he's definitely one of our most important players. And, he's getting a bit older now. Maybe he'll move to one of the corner outfield soon, but having him healthy for a full season is something that we desperately need if we want to have a chance to win a World Series.
Definitely, and I definitely think that he's headed towards right field, and I don't mind that, because you know what that means, Nick? That means we have George Springer for probably 140 plus games in a season if he can stay healthy, and a pretty damn good right fielder as well.
Yeah, he's amazing at every position really in the outfield, and even when he starts to age, he still has a good arm. He's a great read, so I have no worries about him. The contract has been great so far, even though he's been injured for so long, and I'm just happy that the collision with him and Bo didn't turn into anything more serious than what it was and missing more time. But like you said, I don't think we would have won the World Series this year anyways. So I'm happy that he got healthy. And that was the key thing, is that, I'll pop it up one more time, is that he'll be ready to go for spring training, which is just phenomenal news. And so all those worries are put to rest for the meantime. Obviously, other things could end up happening, but let's not jinx it.
Yeah, that is great news, and we know George Springer plays harder than everybody, and what this tells me is that he's fully committed to this team. He waited. As soon as the season was over, he went and got that surgery that he needed, and he wants to be there for spring training. A lot of the older guys, especially guys that are proven all-star talents like George Springer, they wait 2-3 weeks before spring training to get that surgery or to get that operation that they needed, but he didn't. He wants to have a full spring training with the Blue Jays. He wants a full season under his belt, and I really respect that.
Yeah, George Springer's ready to go. He's all in, and hopefully we won't have to make any more injury updates for George Springer, so he just stays injury-free. But let's get into the second topic here. Yeah, hopefully, because he's been getting injured.
That would be ideal. That would be ideal. But 33 years old is not the end of the line in baseball. I mean, your prime stretches a lot longer than that, so not worried about George Springer. Great player. Let's get into the next thing.
Let's do it. Now, this one, some people are saying, making a big deal out of it, some people aren't. So it's Bichette deleting his Twitter. I don't really have a screenshot for this one because, his Twitter's deleted, so it's hard to have a screenshot. But he did delete his Twitter recently. Now, I don't know. Some people are saying on Reddit and stuff that it's a big deal. Some people are saying he does this every offseason and it's just like a tactic for him to lock in. Obviously, Bo Bichette was put under a lot of criticism over the over the offseason so far, and not given the play with George Springer in center field and Walker game too. But I don't think it's a huge deal. I think it's just something that Bo does, and I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, you see this all the time in professional sports for whatever reason. I'll never be able to wrap my finger around it, but I guess it's kind of like a job to these guys, you know, like they want to disconnect when their contract is over. They want to disconnect when the season is over because they don't have any obligations to the team once they're done, once they're bounced from the playoffs, once their 162 games are done, they don't have any obligations. So I'm not buying too much into that. You see it all the time. Guys like Aaron Judge, he's not following the Yankees on Twitter, on social media. You know, how much stock could you buy into that? And in a couple months from now, you can see Aaron Judge sign a 10-year, $400 million deal with the Yankees, and then that'll all be forgotten. You know, I'm just saying hypothetically, like
Right.
That's what we see all the time. Giannis Antetokounmpo
Yeah.
in the NBA, he unfollowed everybody except his brothers on Instagram, and then he signs a supermax deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. So I don't know how much I buy into that, Nick.
Yeah, I agree. For all you guys worrying out there, I understand, you know, news can be slow some days and there's some things to worry about, but I don't think this is something that's really worth worrying about. And again, if we get traded, it won't be because Bo deleted his Twitter. It would be because, you know, we're going after maybe a Shohei Ohtani or someone like that. But yeah, I'm not too worried about it. And hopefully Bo has a good offseason and stays healthy and comes back playing like he did towards the end of the regular season and into the playoffs there. But yeah, I don't think there's anything to worry about, like you said, and just want to touch on that briefly. But we'll get into the third one now, which is Ryu injury. Now, we haven't spoke about Ryu in, it feels like a long time. Obviously, he's been hurt since how early in the season. He only had a few starts. But we'll pop it up here. Not sure if this has already been reported, but the Blue Jays have Ryu's contract fully insured in case of injury, so they will recoup all dollars for time missed. The plan is for the club to reallocate the money back into the payroll next season. So that is kind of cool. Obviously, the contract's insured. Now, the real question is, the reason I brought this up, do you think he pitches next year?
I think he does. He'll come on the squad later on in the season, and I think he'll be there to eat up innings. He'll be like a fifth starter, spot start type of guy. You know, that's what we're going to need him for. And a lot of people, they give a lot of hate towards Hyunjin Ryu, but I love him personally because I think he really kick-started this like new age
Yeah.
of Blue Jays going after big name free agents, going after it on the free agent market. Because you remember when they signed him, that was the year where he was coming off a Cy Young award, and he was unbelievable in his first year with the Blue Jays.
Yeah, the COVID shortened year. Yeah, I have nothing but love for Ryu. Yeah, like you said, he jump started the whole Blue Jays going after big players in the offseason because he was the first one. Then we had Springer, we have Gosman, we traded for Brios, and then he re-signed. So nothing but love for him, and I still think he has a little left in the tank as to be maybe a serviceable 5 starter. Like a 4 ERA would be fine, or like a 3.9 or something like that. And I think he's capable of it if he gets healthy. Do I think he's gonna have a big impact on the season? Probably not, but it's something that, you know, we at least we have him in like whatever the report said here, so we don't have to it won't hurt too bad. But I love Ryu, always will, and even when he retires or leaves, I'll always have love for him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a Blue Jay, you know, he's a Blue Jay right now, and he'll be there to help out the team where they need him. Yes, he's past his prime. He's not going to win another Cy Young award. That ship has sailed. But he's been a team guy. He's been there even when he has been injured. He could have easily went back home to Korea, but he decided to stay with the team. He decided to cheer them on, and you got to respect him for that. He's a quality vet that every team wants to have, and it doesn't hurt to have another lefty pitcher who's had some success in his career.
Yeah, maybe he could again. Maybe he'll be into a 5 slot, or maybe he'll help Kikuchi turn it around or something in the clubhouse. But also, since we're speaking of pitching, I don't have the graphic for it, but we'll talk about Nate Pearson a little bit. He's been dominating the fall league, and what we do have for you guys is a couple of clips of his strikeouts. So I'll pop the first one up here. This is his first one. Just throwing absolute gas down the middle. I don't know how fast this was. In the it was from a Twitter clip because obviously I'm not able to watch any of these games. I don't know if you have been able to, Peter, but I think they were saying high 90s. I don't know about low hundreds, but I believe it's high 90s. But he looks pretty good there. And this is the second clip, which is a filthy. I don't know what changeup or slider, but slider. Yeah, he's looking good. And someone responded to the tweet and said, I have no expectations for Nate Pearson, but anything he does give this year is a bonus, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. But he's looking really good.
It's honestly too bad because he was hailed as like the next great starter for the Toronto Blue Jays, this big, dominant, hard-throwing guy, and that ended up being Alek Manoah. So it kind of worked out in a sense, but Nate Pearson, former first-round pick, throwing 103 plus when he was in the minors, when he first got into the minors. It's a little too bad that we'll never see him in a Blue Jays rotation. I don't think he can last a full season. I don't think he can throw 150 plus innings. But if he can be like a solid back end of the bullpen type guy, which I definitely think he has the stuff to do, that's great.
Yeah, I think the best case scenario at this point would be like a elite eighth inning guy, maybe a closer if
Like an Aaron Sanchez.
Yeah,
type.
if he puts it all together. That's all you can hope for at this point. Obviously, I remember watching his first game, and he was super hyped, and obviously Manoah ended up being the guy who took over what Pearson was supposed to do because of injuries and stuff like that. But I still have a bit of faith in him to be a bullpen guy. I think he could be an elite one. And that'll bring us into the final topic of the video, which is some Silver Slugger news that came out the other day. I'll pop up the screenshot here. The Jays have been, 6 of the Blue Jays have been named Silver Slugger finalists. We have Bichette, Guerrero, Kirk, Springer, Hernandez, and Chapman. It's a lot of players.
Yeah. I mean, we see it every year with the Blue Jays. They have a lot of nominations. A bit of a popularity contest. I'm not the craziest about it. It's the same thing with the Gold Glove. You see guys with negative defensive runs saved who are top 3 in nominations. Then you have guys who missed half the season who end up being Silver Slugger nominees. And I mean, some of the Blue Jays deserve it, like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette, George Springer does deserve it as well. Alejandro Kirk, he should win that by a landslide. A guy like Teoscar Hernandez had a very down year by his standards, and now he's getting nominated for a Silver Slugger.
Yeah, it kind of goes to show how good Teo still is, but I agree.
Yeah.
And Martin Maldonado was nominated somehow over a few of the other great catchers, so I kind of agree with you. There's kind of there's no value in that award anymore, it seems. It's kind of just something to have, or maybe something in the contracts for incentives. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there, and yeah, let's before we end the video, let's do our World Series predictions, since they do start today in a few hours, about 4 hours from now, probably 3 from when you're watching the video. So we don't have to get into it too much. Just a simple, what's your prediction on the World Series?
I got Phillies in 7. I think this is their year. I don't want to see the Astros win it, not for any personal reasons, but it's just I think they've won enough. They've had enough success over these past couple years. I want to see the Phillies do it. But one other note here, I was talking to you off camera about it. The cheapest ticket for game 3 in Philly. That's how much, Nick?
It's like $1,100 or something like that.
Yeah, $1,400 US, which is really icing out the real fans, the real Philly fans that have been there all year long. But it's none of our business. We weren't going to go anyways, but
yeah,
just something cool. But what do you think? What's your prediction? What do you want to see?
My predictions have been ice cold. If you watch the prediction video, I basically got everything wrong. Besides, I did get the Astros to the World Series right, so I will take that. I think. I'll go with Astros in 6. I would love the Phillies to win it. I'm going to stick with the Astros. I was kind of right with them so far, so I'm going to go Astros in 6, but I will be cheering for the Phillies every single game, and I really hope that they take care of business there. And it kind of seems like their year. It's kind of reminds me of the 2015 Blue Jays in a way. Just I feel like they might be able to actually finish it.
Like the Braves of last year.
Yeah,
also,
or even,
you got to get hot at the right time, and that's what baseball postseason is all about. Like we played the Blue Jays played the Phillies 4 times, smacked them around 3 times during the regular season. Now the Phillies are playing late in October and the Blue Jays are golfing. So that just shows you how baseball works. It's crazy.
Yeah, and they have their Phillies are like not crazy good at anything. They just got hot at the right time, like you said, and it kind of goes to show, like you said, man, whoever gets hot at the right time is really, that's what baseball is basically like. You don't have to have the best team as long as you get hot at the right time. So gives some other teams some hope, I'm sure, including the Jays. But thank you guys for watching. Road to 1K. You can take it away from here, Peter.
Thanks again, guys, for making it this far. You guys are the best. You guys have been killing it with the support. Really appreciate it, Nick and I. And we'll be back tomorrow with another video. So thanks so much for watching, and peace.